So can you run a history check on the owners of a vehicle? This is Dave at cartitles.com. In our practice of doing title recovery and getting people titles for a vehicle that have title issues, we will look up the history of the vehicle to track down prior ownership to extinguish all those prior ownership rights. However, that information cannot be released generally to a third party. There's the DPPA, or Drivers Privacy Protection Act, where driving records, vehicle records, generally cannot be released to a third party. They can be used by a company or an individual using it for a legitimate purpose, like an insurance company or even a car manufacturer trying to track down owners for a recall. But in the case of delivering that information to an owner of a vehicle, like who owned my car before, in most cases that's going to be not allowed under the DPPA. The reason why is they want to protect the privacy of the location of people who own a car. For example, if you were driving your car down the street, cut somebody off in traffic, they wrote down your plate number, or maybe followed you to a parking lot and got your vehicle identification number. If it were not for the DPPA, they could call up the DMV and say, hey, who owns that car? And they could find out that you own the car and show up at your house and knock on your door. For example, if you used to own a car and somebody wanted to find out who owned that car prior to them, you could get harassing phone calls from the new owner saying, hey, why did you sell this car with all these problems? So the federal government has the DPPA. It protects the privacy of you as an owner. In some cases, if you give permission to have your information released as a prior owner, then the new owner can find out about that. But for the most part, a history of the ownership of a vehicle is not available for the public. That's why if you see, like on a Carfax or other vehicle history checks, it's just going to show you the state it was registered in, and if it's a salvage title or other history, it's not going to show you who the owner's names actually were. We do obtain this information in some cases when we're doing a title recovery to try to track down a prior owner, to maybe to get a signature, or even to make sure that that owner doesn't have any liens on the car, but it's not able to be released to the public or to a third party. If you have questions about recovering a title on a vehicle, you can reach us at our website at cartitles.com.